I believe there is greatness in your uniqueness. You discover the diamond when you dare to be different and change your environment rather than allowing your environment to change you. Today, let's talk from the topic coffee bean, egg, or carrot. Which one are you? How to be an influencer. Oh, you know what's up? Turn me up. I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good, good people? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope that you, yes, you are doing well. Well, I want to welcome you into another edition of In the Mix. I'm your host with the most, yours truly, Dr. Eddie Connor, and it is an honor that you have joined me today. Yeah, we're going to get into a tremendous topic entitled Coffee Bean, Egg, or Carrot. Which one are you? How to be an influencer too. And so many times when we even think of, I know that title sounds a little interesting. Title sounds a little crazy. What you mean, coffee bean, egg, or carrot? Yeah, coffee bean. I had that when I was sipping my coffee this morning. Had a little few eggs on the side. Put some carrots into my smoothie. I get it. Or maybe you had some carrot cake. I don't know. Get it. But I really want to look from this particular angle and aspect that oftentimes we are trying to fit in when we were born to stand out. And I want to give you 4 strategies today to really dissect what this whole thing is about, to really be an influencer. Everybody wants to be an influencer these days. Everybody wants to be an influencer. And most people are oftentimes influenced than they are influencers. A lot of people are more so consumers than they are producers. They're viewers than they're more so spectators than they are participators. But everybody wants to have this label of I'm an influencer, I'm this, I'm that, whatever the case may be. But it is like the quote that suggests you can't call yourself a leader if you're walking and nobody's behind you. You can't call yourself an influencer if you're walking and nobody's behind you. And here's the thing, what I understand about an influencer. Leadership is influence, according to what Dr. John Maxwell said. Leadership is influence. That's what he boiled it all the way down to. It is how you move into a place of persuasion, but also how you're moving into a place to where beyond just influence, there's also confluence. And it's a flow, it's a melding together. Not just you pushing your agenda on people, but it is connecting with other individuals and growing together. Growing together. I'm a pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit, and I told my congregation, I said, listen, there is room for everybody here at the church. Room for everybody. It's no big eyes, it's no little U's. It is what you intend to do by moving the kingdom and the community forward. How can you roll up your sleeves to help somebody else? And can you do it without getting the recognition? Can you do it if there's no recognition even attached to it? If your name is not on a fellowship hall wall or on a pew, or we're saying your name about 50 times over the pulpit, we're always clapping for you, all those specific things, can you still do the work without the applause? Because here's the thing, if you only need the applause, you'll quit before they clap. You'll quit when they stop clapping. Don't do it for applause, do it for a cause. Do it for the fact that you want to influence people in the right way. You want to impact, you want to influence, you want to increase. You want people's ideas to come to a greater place of fruition. And that's why I talk about, that's why the title today is about coffee bean, egg, or carrot. Here's what I understand about it. Let's just do a little mental experiment, if you will. If you place an egg in boiling water, what happens to the egg? The egg hardens. Place an egg in boiling water, the egg is going to harden. You place a carrot now in boiling water. What's going to happen to the carrot? It's going to soften. Place a coffee bean now. So we got the egg hardening, we got the carrot softening. What's going to happen with the coffee bean? You put the coffee bean in boiling water. What happens? What happens to the coffee bean? Here's what happens. The coffee bean changes the water to coffee. Notice this. The water dictates to the egg by hardening it. The water dictates to the carrot by softening it. But here's what happens. The coffee bean influences the water. It changes it. It shifts the water to coffee. And here's what I understand. We have to change the environment and not allow the environment to change us. Change the environment. Don't allow the environment to change you. Family, just type change. Type change. People have an aversion to change. People oftentimes catch cold when it's now time to change. But don't let what you go through harden you like the egg. Don't let it soften you like the carrot. What you have to do is you have to change the environment. Now, how do you change the environment? Number one, you have to decide to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. And what's the question? The question is, are you a thermometer or a thermostat? You have to not allow your environment to dictate you. You got to dictate to your environment. Association brings about assimilation. It's kind of like the quote that suggests, if you can't change the people that you're around, change the people that you're around. So what it speaks to. Am I going to be a coffee bean? Am I going to be an egg? Or am I going to be a carrot? I am not a thermometer. I'm a thermostat. Here's what I understand about a thermometer. A thermometer is dictated by the environment. Our thermometer only reflects the temperature. Here's what a thermostat does. A thermostat sets the temperature. Too many of us are only reflecting when we need to be setting. Too many of us are only reflecting when we need to be resetting. Reset our mindset, reset the temperature, reset our attitude, reset our disposition. You have to be a thermometer, a thermostat, not a thermometer. You can't be a thermometer. You got to be a thermostat. Here it is. Oftentimes when people have an attitude, now you have an attitude. You cower down to other individuals. You allow people to dictate to you versus you dictating to the environment. You dictated the attitude, you dictating to the disposition of what it is that people hold. I'm not a thermometer. I'm a thermostat. I don't reflect, I set. I don't react, I respond. Come on, just because the environment is negative doesn't mean that you have to be negative. Shift that environment and be positive. Shift that environment. You know, I was thinking today, I said, listen, you got to start walking into buildings as if 10,000 angels are walking ahead of you and 10,000 angels are walking behind you. Come on now. That has a different type of disposition. You're not coming in there like this. No, you coming in here. I'm looking to the hills from where my help comes. My help comes from the Lord. My back is straight. My shoulders are square. My head is up. Why? Because he's a glory and the lifter up of your head. I'm not a thermometer. I'm a thermostat. I am an influencer. I'm not just the one who's influenced. Too many of us were influenced by media. We're influenced by music. We're influenced by what other people say about somebody else. And now it distorts and it disrupts your perception of another individual. Why? Because you allowed somebody else to dictate to you versus you dictating to them. You dictating to the situation. You being a thermostat versus being a thermometer. You got to shift it around. Got to shift it around. Family, just type thermostat, thermostat, thermostat. That's here's what influencers do. Influencers get to the place of being a thermostat, not a thermometer. I don't care what the economic system is. I'm going to still do this. I don't care what society is dictating to. I don't care what the stats are saying. I don't care what the prognosticators are prognosticating. And declaring and forecasting. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I've been called to do. Secondly, an influencer does this. Why? Because they're not an egg, they're not a carrot, they're a coffee bean. Egg is dictated by the environment. Carrot is dictated by the environment. A coffee bean dictates the environment. It influences it. And so here's what an influencer does. An influencer uses stumbling blocks as stepping stones. Stumbling blocks become stepping stones. I'm giving you some strategies, structures, solutions, and systems. Here's what a system is: it's saving yourself time, energy, money. Wouldn't you like to do that? Then here's what you need to do. You need to be part of my Eagles community. You really do. It's where I coach, it's where I teach, it's where I train, it's where I mentor, it's where I empower you to be an influencer, not to be influenced, but to soar to another level. Do you understand this about an eagle? An eagle actually has to work harder to fly lower. Hear me. An eagle has to work harder to fly lower. Notice I said fly, because when it's in the sky, when it's soaring high, it flaps its wings. Maybe one time it's just soaring as long as it wants to. Why? Because an eagle has a mindset of, listen, I'd rather soar so low than to fly so low. I would rather soar so low. You never see a crowd of eagles in the sky together. You rarely, if ever, see that. An eagle said, I would rather soar so low than to fly so low. I'm not going to fly so low because I actually have to. I have to work harder to fly lower. Woo! I'm talking to you. If you're not a part of my Eagles community right now, what are you doing? Come on, let's do something about that. You know you need the teaching and the training and the transformation. I'm not just giving you information, I'm giving you transformation. You need the teaching, you need the training, you need the transformation. It's where I coach, is where I teach, is where I train, is where I mentor, is where I empower you. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, be transformed, be a part of our private Facebook group, be a part of my Eagles community area, village, virtual village, where you have access to every single session that we've ever done. That's going to give you all the transformation that you need in the areas of business and relationships and faith and God, goals, gifts, and greatness, and increase your ideas, your impact, your influence, and your income, financial fidelity and stability, marketing, business, strategy, structure, solutions, and systems to take your vision to another dimension. You need that. You can network with so many other gifted leaders, especially in our live sessions, especially when we do our gatherings where people come locally, nationally, and globally to a particular area, and we connect. We build community and camaraderie, and opportunities come from that as a result. We also give you access to our amazing community where I coach, teach, train, mentor each and every single week live. Theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. Family, just type SOAR, type SOAR, type SOAR. I'm giving you some strategies on how to be an influencer. You're going, for those of you who just joined us, talking about coffee bean, egg, or carrot. Which one are you? Which one are you? I told you an influencer uses stumbling blocks as stepping stones. Scripture says that the Lord will make your enemies your footstool. Here's what I understand. People who are self-motivated can take the stones that people are throwing at them, catch them, and build something great. Nehemiah said that I'm building something and I cannot come down. Right? The stone that the builder rejected has now become the chief cornerstone. I'm going to use the negative as a positive. Your father wasn't there. Use the negative as a positive. People talking about you. Use the negative as a positive. People who don't think you can overcome. Use the negative as a positive. People who really don't believe in you. Use the negative as a positive. People only bring negativity to you, but don't say anything positive at all about the work that you're doing or the progress that it is that you're making. Use the negative as a positive. Use the negative steam to power your dream. Use the stumbling block as a stepping stone. How can you get better as a result? How can you get bigger as a result? How can you think brighter as a result? How can you uplift other individuals as a result of you fill in the blank? Because there's always going to be hardship. There's always going to be somebody combating you when you're seeking to go to another level and another dimension. Why? Because you make yourself a target. The more you level up, the more you make yourself a target. The more you level up, the more you make yourself a target. Here it is, not just of enemy fire, but oftentimes of friendly fire. Those who said that they would be friends were really just frenemies. They were enemies disguised as friends. And that's in any organization. That's in any sect. That's in the church. That's in the community. That's in an organization. That's in your school. That's in your fraternity. It's in your sorority. It is wherever it is. And because it is what it is. You have to use the stumbling block as a stepping stone to elevate and to go higher. And sometimes you have to isolate to elevate. Being alone, but being alone does not mean that you're lonely. You got God, who's your greatest company. Told you, number one, you're talking about being an influencer. You're going to be a coffee bean, you're going to be an egg, or you're going to be a carrot. An influencer is not a thermometer, they are a thermostat. An influencer uses stumbling blocks as stepping stones. The egg being in boiling water is going to harden the egg. The carrot being in boiling water is going to soften the egg. But the coffee bean being in boiling water, guess what they do? Guess what it does? It shifts the environment and turns the water into coffee. What can you do to turn the bad into something good? What can you do to turn the stumbling block into a stepping stone? What can you do to transform your situation? What can you do to teach, to train, to transform your life? You owe it to you to do it. Number 3, I told you number 1. Yeah. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Use stumbling blocks as stepping stones. Thirdly, be an Advil, not a headache. Oh, let me talk to you. Are you an Advil or a headache? Come on, when you step into an environment, when you step into the atmosphere, when you get involved in an auxiliary or an organization, or you serve on a leadership board or a leadership team, what have you, move into an area as a C-suite executive, you're now in the boardroom, you're now chosen for city council or whatever the case may be, political, pastoral affiliation, I don't know, ministerial affiliation. Are you an Advil or a headache? Do you cause headaches or relieve headaches? Come on, you can even go into the relationship aspect. Are you a headache or a helpmate? Are you a vitamin C or are you a germ? Listen, life is going to be tough enough. Life is going to be hard enough. And oftentimes we become headaches rather than Advils simply because we just want to respond. We just want to react rather to what everybody else is doing. React to whatever everybody else said about you. Reacting. Defense. And now you feel like you got to give people a piece of your mind just because you're only left with you're only left with just a piece of your mind, but no peace of mind. You want to give people a piece of your mind. You're only left with just a piece of your mind, but no peace of mind. And now it's affecting your mental health. Now you're saying permanent things in temporary situations, and words don't have a receipt. Now you're finding yourself flustered and frustrated simply because you have decided to take the low road rather than the high road. Here's what I understand about the Advil. The Advil relieves sinus pressure. The Advil takes away the pressure. It remedies it. It lessens the pain. It removes the migraine. Helps you to hopefully think clearer. To remedy the issue very, very quickly. You a vitamin C or are you a germ? To where you're not viral with a virus. No, but you're a person who mitigates stress. You shift people into their blessed season, not their most stressed season. Last but not least, we're talking about how to be an influencer. Are you a coffee bean, an egg, or a carrot? Which one are you? Told you number one, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Use stumbling blocks as stepping stones. Be an Advil, not a headache. Last but not least, you have to develop a champion mindset. You just have to. You have to develop a champion mindset. And this is what I understand. Challenges create champions. Too many of us are running from what we need to be running to. Did you hear what I just said? Too many of you, too many of us, too many of you are running from what we need to be running to. You're running away from the responsibility. You're running away from the opportunity. You're running away because you keep thinking about what's going to go wrong. You keep running away from the opportunities that are in your face. You keep running away. You keep running in fear rather than walking by faith. And here's what I understand about fear. Fear is face everything and rise, not face everything and run. What are you going to do to rise to another level? Muhammad Ali said the canvas is no place for a champion. That's a mindset thing right there. That's a mindset thing to keep on going, to keep on moving to the next level. It's watching a guy who goes to our church. His name is Lance Boogie Smith. Boogie is his nickname. He's a boxer. He just won his first professional pro debut. Shout out to L Boogie. Shout out to Lance Boogie. And I went to the fight that he had, first professional debut, and I remember he'd been telling me weeks and months prior that he was really contemplating going pro, and he said, "Hey, I want you to pray for me because I've got to make this big decision here." So as his pastor, prayed for him. A couple weeks later, he lets me know that he's decided to act upon going pro and the prayer XYZ. And so went to his fight, and they're filling each other out. Both guys in the ring, they're filling each other out. What angle are you gonna come at? Are you gonna be methodical? Are you just gonna be strategic? Or are you just gonna be in there throwing haymakers? What's it gonna be? And you could tell Lance was really filling them out, especially as you look at it in hindsight. The guy had Lance in a headlock. Lance is giving him body shots, and Lance then got the other guy in a headlock, and the guy was giving him body shots. It's kind of trade-off. Then all of a sudden, out the blue, Lance tagged the guy. He fell down. Gets back up. The referee is kind of trying to count him in, and he said, yeah, I'm good. He really wasn't good. As the fight had to be waved off, the fight had to be called off. The guy was just weak in the knees. He looked winded. He looked tired, and he looked like he had enough. But here's what I understand. So many times people would have lost their cool. They would have lost their mindset because it didn't seem like it was going right for them in the initial interim, in the beginning. But for Lance to overcome that and find himself in the place of victory as a champion, he had to develop the mindset. Because if the mindset was not to remain strong, if the mindset was not to continue fighting the good fight, he would have given up a long time ago. One thing I saw about that fight, and shout out again to L Boogie doing his thing. One thing I saw about that fight when they announced Lance is the winner, it just totally shocked me and took me by surprise. His opponent started clapping for him. I want to talk to you. When you develop that champion mindset, not only will you recognize it, not only will your friends recognize it, but hear me, your opponents will recognize it too. And they have no choice but to clap because you didn't quit. No choice. No choice but to clap because you decide not to be a thermometer, you're a thermostat. They have no choice but to clap because you're a thermostat, not a thermometer. They have no choice but to clap because you turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. They have no choice but to clap simply because you're an Advil, not a headache. You're vitamin C, not a germ. They have no place but to clap simply because you developed a champion mindset. It's not a conform mindset, it's a renewed mindset. Saying I'm going to take life by the horns. I'm going to hit the enemy with an uppercut. Yeah, I'm gonna move my life to another level and into another dimension simply because I'm gonna overcome the battles internally. I'm gonna be a thermostat, not a thermometer. I'm gonna shift stumbling blocks into stepping stones. I'm gonna be an Advil and not a headache. Vitamin C and not a germ. I'm going to develop a champion mindset. That's how we win. That's how we overcome. That's how we shift our life to another dimension. Family, I want you to sow into this word that you've heard. It's not as a debt that you owe, it is a seed that you sow. I want you to sow right now into this word. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to get at least a $20 seed and sow that into good ground right here. Yeah, we've been having a super conversation. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. You can donate, you can give to the vision of In the Mix and how we are taking this broadcast, broadening it to cities and communities, neighborhoods and nations, locally, nationally, and globally. And we cannot, I need you to hear me, we cannot do it without your monetary donations and support for software that needs to be purchased and things that need to be developed and hooked up. Your seed can help us to do that. You can also sow via Cash App. Cash App, $ Dr. Eddie Ministries, Dr. Eddie Ministries, Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for sowing into this word that you have heard. Yeah, really appreciate you for it. Yeah, you're not going to be an egg that's going to just harden. You're not going to be a carrot that's going to shrivel up. You're going to be a coffee bean that shifts the environment, changes the environment from boiling water to boiling coffee. You're a coffee bean. And I hope you know what I mean. Thank you so much for giving. Cash App, $ Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. Family, if you're not a member of In the Mix, what are you doing? Yeah, I got a lot of content in Connor's Corner in my In the Mix area, membership area, that is. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description of this video for how and where to become a member. All you have to do is just type in the information. And as you do that, yeah, it's going to be moving your life to another level, into another dimension. Links in the chat, links in the description of this video. When you tap that link or click that link, you'll see 3 options pop up: VIP, Royalty, OQP. Choose one of those 3. My gift to you is to give you access to our members only area. Membership has its privileges. Unlock the unlimited. Get an all access pass. Get connected to Connor's Corner content. And I must say this, shout out, salute to all of you who are in our live chat. And you have a digital decal by your name that lets me know that you are a member of In the Mix. Beyond a subscriber, beyond a viewer, I appreciate you for being a member. If you're not a part of our Eagles community, yeah, we got a class session tonight. I want you to soar with us into greater success and purpose, go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button. Fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. Family, were you transformed by this conversation? If so, just type an eagle emoji. Yeah, put an eagle emoji up. Put an eagle emoji up. If you were empowered by this conversation, drop an eagle emoji. Yeah, family. In the mix is out of time, but trust me, I'm not out of truth. And so I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I really do want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we roll together each and every single day, each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday for In the Mix. And we mix it up right here on the YouTube side. Yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. To my channel, hit the notification bell. You're going to be notified any and every single time that content drops. And we mix it up right here on the YouTube side, but also on our sister satellite stations on social media. I just got a question for you. Are you my friend? Are we locked in? Step this way, step that way. Which way? By friending me, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop at EddieConnorJr. EddieConnorJr. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. And I want you to show up this coming Sunday to the church where I pastor at, the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit. The address is 20470 Hubble Street. 20470 Hubble Street is where I am saving you a seat. Yeah, I am. Church of Lives worth the flight of the drive. And when you arrive, you're going to be empowered to thrive and you're going to be revived. You owe it to you to be a part of our word and worship experience. Powerful prayer, praise, and to preach a word. Yeah, that's rightly designed to empower you. Really is. Service is at 10 a.m. this coming Sunday. Would love to see your face and place at the Remnant Worshipers Ministry. You can get more information about our church at trwchurch.org. You can also get any of my books. I got 18 of them out there on Amazon, signed copies as well at my website. And on Amazon, you get them as ebooks, audiobooks, hard copies. Go to my website, EddieConnor.com, EddieConnor.com. I've also got a litany. I got a plethora of other resources that I know will speak life into your life. I know it's going to help you. Hear me. One of them is my bestseller book blueprint. I've written 18 books now, been a best-selling author numerous times. I want you to get this bestseller book blueprint. Why? Because there's so many of you who keep saying, I need to write a book. I need to write a book, but I wish I had the manuscript. I wish I had the manual to where I could just plug and play. And you can do that with this one. You can do that with mine. Right? I want you to go ahead and get that book. Too many people keep saying, oh, this is going to be the year I do it, and they never do it. 81% of Americans want to write a book. 3% actually do. Only 1% publish. Some of us are in that 3%. We got all these ideas, but we still have not published yet. I want to show you how to do that. Also, you can get my Successful Speaker Strategies digital video training guide. I'm going to show you how to wow your audience. I'm going to show you how to be invited back. I'm going to show you also how to develop the framework for your speech, for you speaking. And these strategies are not just proven just on a stage or on a live. No. They're proven even in the boardroom, proven even with one-on-one conversations. There's an art of communication. What picture are you painting when you're speaking? Whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. I'm empowering you with that. Speaking of speaking, of course, you can get both those resources at EddieConnor.com. Speaking of speaking, if you are looking for a dynamic speaker, now why would you look any further? You know that I'm the man for the job. So invite me to speak at your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your graduation, your session. Let's make some progression. Listen, all you got to do is email me to invite me. Add me to your calendar, add me to your podcast, invite me to your podcast, whatever's clever. Email me to invite me, info@EddieConnor.com, and it would be an honor for me to empower you. Yeah. Yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand. Yo, brother. And I mean that. From another mother family has been fun, but you know, really got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. Yes, it has been beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, I'm talking to you now, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love. Yeah. Keep soaring high. I realize the extent of your development is connected to the extent of your investment. What I mean, invest little, develop little. But we're investing much into you as you invest in yourself by developing your purpose, developing your goals and your dreams and your ideals and your ideas, shifting you from ideas to income. Where does this all happen at? I'm so glad you asked. It takes place in our Eagles Academy. All you have to do is go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed to shift your ideas into income, your contacts into contracts, really to grow your ideas, your impact, and your influence. You owe it to you to invest in you. And as a result of it, now you are able to be coached and mentored and be a part of our live trainings with yours truly. Yeah, with me, along with a host of other leaders and trendsetters and trailblazers and accountability partners. No one grows in a silo. The power of mentorship, it takes what I've learned in years and months and I give it to you in minutes. What I've learned in decades and I can give it to you in days. To be a part of our private Facebook group, to get guided feedback through our Eagle's Nest reflections, to get access to all of the content, all the live sessions and the trainings of business development, of financial stewardship, of the impact and empowerment that only takes place when you go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. Again, when you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. But it doesn't just stop there. You want to develop your book? Then guess what? You are an aspiring author. You need to get my bestseller book blueprint. It's available right now. accessidentity.org/author. All of the insight of what it is that I have used to write 18 books and be a best-selling author. You owe it to you to get your hands on that. You also owe it to you to get my Successful Speaker Strategies download. I'm telling you, whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. Let me show you how to develop your communication. There's an art to communication. Let me show you how to develop that. Go right now as well to accessidentity.org/speaker. And then I am blessed to pastor the Remnant Worshipers Church. I want you to be a part of the church that I am pastoring at right now. Is such a great thing of what it is that God has fashioned us to do. And it's taking place right here in the city of Detroit, 10 a.m. every Sunday, 6 p.m. we have prayer on Tuesdays, and then 7 p.m. on those same Tuesdays, we have TNT Tuesdays, Truth and Transformation. It's amazing. You want to be a part of it. Go right now, trwchurch.org, and then I want to see your face in the place this Sunday at 20470 Hubble Street. I'm doing my best to save you a seat. Powerful prayer, praise, and a preach word. Can't wait to see your face in the place at the Remnant Worshipers Church.